Well, yeah, I've been in Asheville for about 5 years, which is kind of crazy at this point. It's been great to be here, um, and I guess we're all maybe kind of start is um, back when I was living in Florida before here. Um, I was going to art school in Sarasota at the Ringling College of Art and Design, and graduated from there about 2012. And then like that next year, I got my first concert poster gig with Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, and they really took me under their wing quite a bit, and I ended up doing a bunch of stuff for them over the years. But since then, it kind of just opened the whole door of working with bands for me. So since then, I've gotten to work with a lot of my favorite people, like Built to Spill and the Black Angels and Flaming Lips and Tame Impala. So it's been really awesome and super grateful for all those bands giving me a chance and all that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, Edward Sharpe, was his band before that I'm a Robot?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I listened to tons of I'm a Robot in high school.
Okay, nice.
and then there's this huge hiatus, and then
yeah, right.
I was like, oh, this guy sounds like I'm a Robot. Like I heard it on the radio eventually or something like that. I never really got into Edward Sharpe and all that, but I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's the same guy.
Yeah,
Cool. That's really great, man. So what was that like? What was that first did they reach out to you? Like they come across your stuff, or was there some kind of mutual friend that was the connection to something like that? Or
yeah, there was kind of this mutual person that I have kind of been friends with since, and we've never actually met. It was just like we got connected on Facebook or something through, he had like kind of worked with them a little bit, and some of that is a little hazy in my memory now, exactly how that happened. But yeah, it was kind of magical, I think. And then I ended up with their manager's email or something, and they had seen some of my other work, so I seemed professional.
Yeah. So before, I guess your spec work that they came across, was this stuff from just school, or had you done like smaller artists, like just your local venue doing posters?
So my last couple years in Sarasota, I was playing in a band called Buffalo Wizards, and we were playing a lot of local shows and just like regionally around Florida. And so I was just like making flyers for all those shows, and then making flyers for other friends' bands and stuff. So I was slowly just like honing in my like poster style, I guess, and incorporating typography and illustration in a cohesive kind of way.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I come from a similar background. I never self-taught artist that just learned from doing tons of flyers.
Nice.
Like every flyer I could jump on. I don't know why. I just like got really obsessive about it. And I also think I think the college I went to had free black and white photocopy printing.
Nice.
So like I just went off the walls with knowing like we were able to do that, like tons of collage and tons of stuff like that. So but
yeah, you get kind of I mean, it's been weird now not having done a poster in a year. So I've been doing them like pretty much all the time for like the past 7 years or so.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, with a lot of the events not panning out. So
I had a couple, big ones that were planned for like this past summer and stuff. So it was looking like a really awesome summer for posters and all that. So it's been interesting to figure out some other things to do and other stuff to make.
So what's usually the process for that now? Like when you probably have like a good method when somebody contacts you and you kind of get the ball rolling, like this event is definitely happening at this date and these are the headliners, or is there usually a kind of a way this all kind of goes about?
So it's kind of a mix now. I will get just like kind of random emails from people that just through like networking and stuff now. But a lot of the times it's still, I'm just like keeping track of what shows are coming to town as early as I can, and emailing people as fast as possible usually.
Yeah, that's true too. Like I didn't think about, if you're going to be proactive about it, you kind of need to like stay on the loop and then.
Yeah, you got to be on it, especially for certain bands that are known to want posters and are into that.
Mhm.
There's a few other people in town too that certain bands we're all trying to like get to them first.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like by the
Cool. It's
time
cool.
I know about a show, it's probably like too late. But you never know,
Yeah.
especially if you have like a good portfolio, a good track record. I'm sure it helps your odds.
Yeah, super helpful. Yeah, that's super helpful, that whole part. And yeah, it's been awesome to be able to grow that portfolio
Yeah.
over the years.
So your style, and I'll definitely bring some up here. I'm gonna test out my screen sharing abilities, and not look like a total dad. But let's see here. Just so anybody watching the video later on can kind of get an idea. And I'll have like probably some high res stuff
Cool.
that I'll add on top of the video.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I'm just pulling this stuff. I mean, this stuff is just really awesome, dude. I really admire it.
Nice.
um,
Yeah, it's funny like looking through it all like this and seeing the different things I do and try. Um,
Something like this. This is just like merch for a band, right? This isn't. Oh, wait, no, that's the dates.
yeah,
That's
that
it.
was a show poster. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Mhm,
And this
mhm.
is screen printed.
That's right. Yeah.
That's great, dude. So, with this kind of stuff, like, do they? I don't know. They say you got Final Cut on it. Like, hey, man, we really want you to, or we saw your stuff. It's totally awesome if you design a flyer, a poster for this show. Have at it, or is there usually times where you try to like, do you just present this kind of all done, or do you kind of test the waters and say, hey, here's a basic idea of what I'm going for, or
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times I can kind of have free reign, which is pretty nice. I found working with bands overall probably has the most creative freedom that I've ever experienced. Um, for certain people, they like to see some preliminary sketches,
mm-hmm.
uh, but and sometimes I'll send them that. It's kind of funny, like you'll send a sketch to someone and try to make it like extremely obvious that this is just like the sketch initial
Oh
idea,
yes, oh
and
yes,
they're like, whoa, this is not anywhere
yeah,
near where we need it to be.
yeah.
It's like just trying to have a leap pad.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's just the nature. That will always be the nature
Yeah,
of it, and
yeah,
you know,
most people understand, but every once in a while it's kind of funny that way.
yeah,
So sometimes I'll just do it and finish it and just kind of wow them at the end, and most people are pretty cool with that.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. You made it a really good. You said it really well. Like doing like posters for bands is probably, it gets your creative juices flowing, but it also like is pretty freeing too. It's like got a good.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I like it because it is somewhat collaborative. I like being able to like listen to the groups while I'm working on the poster, just in case
yeah.
something pops in my head.
Hmm.
So yeah, are you mainly doing? Is it all like hand drawn first, or is it a mix between hand drawn and then some of the stuff will be done digitally? Or
Yeah, I do. Primarily, I'll do all like the line work by hand.
hmm
Um, so I'll draw it out in pencil first and then ink it, um, which I really enjoy doing, and I think is probably what makes my stuff as unique as it can be,
yeah,
and as interesting as it can be. Um,
you got your
um,
secretary there, your assistant there.
yeah, that's right. Um, so yeah, a lot of it's pretty hand done, and then I'll scan it and bring it into Photoshop and kind of figure out my color layers, um, and yeah, and then from there it kind of like gets turned back into a real life thing, and burn the screens and make the prints. So that's
awesome.
kind of the basic process that I usually do.
Do you have like a go-to pen for your inking that you like?
Um, you know, I don't use anything really fancy. Um, I mean, a nice fresh Sharpie,
Yeah,
to do you wonders. Um, I got these. It's like another Sharpie brand. I think it's like the S Gel pen.
nice.
Nothing too fancy, and I'll try
Yeah,
out different things all the time. And
yeah.
you know,
Yes, I
sometimes
did.
whatever's like right nearby, whatever's closest, I'll use. And
That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I kind of go back between Sharpies, and then Prisma makes some really stupid expensive markers. I don't know why I keep going back to them,
yeah,
but
they're
I
nice.
it's just like yeah. I just go back and forth between Sharpies. I think it's because I get mad at one and go to the other, and then I get mad
Yeah.
that the Prisma's is expensive, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I was doing fine with the Sharpie. Let's go with those. And then I do the Sharpies. I'm like, ah, it's just like dumb, but
Yeah.
but I always feel like as long as so much stuff gets scanned in, and then you mess with the contrast anyway. But
Hmm.
so from
Yeah.
there, do you feel like you feel like I guess you go into it knowing like you're gonna some of these will be screen printed, and other times your posters won't be screen
Yeah.
printed.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that gives your headspace a little bit, a little bit different when you're going into it like that, like knowing something's going to be burned through emulsion and ink pushed through
Yeah.
it and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I might maybe experiment a little bit more on something that's just going to be a flyer, or do more like collage stuff in there, or things like that.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I still kind of like the hand drawing thing. Um, I'll maybe just like color it a bit differently, because I'm not like trying to figure out how to do it in real life with ink.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like generally the same. I sort of like that look even for a flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not like super into like extremely digital looking pieces overall, especially
Yeah.
for a show flyer, So
Yeah.
I just try to make it look cool, like something's cool is happening,
I
and
think
you
that's
should be there,
I think that's another reason why I love posters and t-shirts is generally the idea is like just trying to make something look cool. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's so many fun things, just like within lyrics, there's so many cool hidden things and meanings, and metaphors and all kinds of things that are fun to play with in poster work.
Yeah.
Have some different Easter eggs in there and stuff like
So,
that.
so when you were studying in school, was that did you get some lessons from that through any classes, or was that just kind of naturally just doing this stuff for a while?
Yeah, I think at one point I started to focus on the fact that I could probably do some kind of work for bands and would probably enjoy that. Um, so I guess I kind of started focusing my style, maybe subconsciously, even at the beginning, towards screen printed posters, even though I
Hmm.
wasn't exactly doing those yet.
Yeah.
Um, and then it wasn't until after I graduated that I actually learned screen printing. My first couple posters I had done through a local printer in Sarasota, Florida, and was like, oh, I can probably do this on my own,
Yeah.
um, and make more money that way too. So
Oh yeah, man. You become the factory. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, which is
That's
kind of a
cool.
lot, but also pretty rewarding
Yeah.
to handle that whole process and bring the prints to the show, and know that I made the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
pretty nice.
you started screen printing after you graduated.
Yeah, that's right. So I've been screen printing probably since like 2013.
Cool. How did you get started with that?
Um, I actually took a class at the college that I went to. It was like a continuing studies class, and it was with the like the fine arts printmaker, head of printmaking
Yeah.
there, and he pretty much taught me how to do the whole like DIY screen printing setup, and um, probably helped me out a little bit extra, after the class was over and stuff, because he saw that I was serious about it, and
Yeah.
was already like an alumni and stuff. So he let me into the studio all the time and
Oh, cool.
helped me
That's
out a lot
great.
with my earlier projects, getting the screens burned and all that stuff. So
Yeah, you got to do it in a proper facility, like starting out.
yeah, I mean, it was still pretty at that time. The printmaking, at least the screen printing stuff there, was still pretty um, relatively like DIY. Like it's
Yeah,
all stuff you could build at home. Um, so I was able to take everything I learned there and kind of make my own little home studio. And
that's cool.
yeah,
So then when did you start printing your own like shirts and things on for your Etsy? I guess collecting your own like inventory basically is I'm curious about.
yeah, that's probably been over. I started selling on Etsy in like 2015, and it was just my concert posters at the beginning. Um, and then maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I started adding some shirts on there. At first, I was doing some like direct to garment stuff, and then now everything is moved over to screen printed stuff that I'm
Yeah.
doing. So, yeah.
Um, so when you design posters for bands, you can have those on your Etsy. Is there any kind of agreements, or is it pretty just kind of um, chill kind of understanding? Like, hey, like I worked on this artwork and I screen printed it. I have the ability to sell
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah. For the most part, that's pretty well accepted, and no one seems bothered by it. I know that a lot of other poster artists will sell their back stock of stuff that
Hmm.
didn't sell at the show or
Yeah.
extras. Um, I think some bands that are like real big will have a cap on how many you can sell on your own type of thing. I've only really experienced that once before.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
so that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you let's see. So with Etsy, you've been able to keep up with all that, like as far as just, I imagine you had to get like a printer for all the packaging you're doing and everything like that, like kind of building it in your own space, or is it more of a, I don't know. I'm always interested in people's e-commerce setup at home.
Yeah. Well, we have our RAD Printworks studio in the River Arts District. So that's kind of where we've been printing all the shirts and art prints and stuff like that recently. Um, yeah, I mean, and then like my shipping thing is just like a little scale, and I print out my labels at home and that kind of thing. So that makes it pretty easy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you get about going on with RAD Printworks? Get all that up and running? What's the story
Yeah,
behind it, I guess, is what I'm curious about.
yeah. My friend Jerry Cahill actually moved up here from the same area in Florida, and we were working at Asheville Screen Printing together for a couple years here, and then that kind of closed last year, and we had already started, like we had the studio space, and we were calling it RAD Printworks, and we were kind of only like just getting started, kind of gathering our supplies and getting a press and getting our
Hmm.
dryers and all that stuff took a while. But yeah, then like over the past year, we've really built it up a lot more. Um, I think it just started as a place where we could, take client jobs of people that we really did want to work with, and be able to print our own stuff and kind of just like have fun with screen printing and make art.
Yeah, I'm
You know?
starting to really love that business model that's been popping up where people have printing backgrounds and all that, and they are able to have like their own intellectual property that they sell, and that's kind of the focus of it. But they are able to still use the facility to cater to other businesses or clients that they kind of, they're not trying to like push every sale out the door. Like somebody walks in and you got to get their lawn business or something like that, or they,
Yeah.
it is kind of cool where they can come in and see, oh, like this is, I own one of your shirts that has this awesome design you did, and like my business is similar to that. We would love to like collaborate on something. It becomes more of a collaboration than just a simple, like, not simple, but than just like a straight up, I'm hiring you for this service, print it.
Yeah, which that's definitely a successful way to run a screen printing shop.
Oh, totally.
And where we both used to work before was, we definitely had some really cool stuff come in, but it was like lawn care and like mega churches and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so yeah, it's needed. I mean, it's there's value to it, but yeah, it is.
But
it's really cool. It's really cool seeing kind of like a new wave of screen printers, at least in this town. I'm noticing like you guys, shop I work at, and then Moonlight Makers is like another example of people that kind of have their own identity for designs and their own way of making their materials, and then they can take on side jobs, or not even side jobs, but just have that available, without it, and everybody's able to kind of like have a good time. I like how it also brings individuality back to Asheville. If people are like making their awesome designs and putting them on things that outside people can come in and buy, that's like really awesome.
And we've gotten to work with some really cool local businesses and stuff so far, so it's been pretty awesome, doing stuff for different breweries in town and Fleetwoods and different bars and things like that.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's been pretty sweet.
I'm always so jealous because my crew is like all self-taught screen printers and all that, so I'm sure some of our methods aren't the most streamlined ways of doing it. I'm so jealous when you guys post videos on your Instagram of like how easy the screens are washing out. You guys are taking a garden hose and it's just like barely coming out, and it looks like it's so oddly satisfying, because all my videos I'm down in this like dungeon with like a pressure washer just like blasting it. So I don't know. I don't know what we're doing wrong, but
well, we still use the pressure washer to like clean off the emulsion.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we have a pretty similarly dungeness screen making operation.
It's not Instagram worthy. I want to post it on Instagram, but it just looks like we murdered somebody.
Yeah, ours like floods sometimes. So that's fun.
Yeah, it's funny.
Works,
It's funny because like, I'll get up and the weather's a certain way and I'm just like, and I don't care what the weather is, but I care about it if I'm like, today I burned some screens today and all that. And I was like, man, I would be outside in this cold ass, foggy day, just like, like.
Yeah, or like the dead of winter, you're trying to like clean off a screen and you're like waiting for it to not be freezing.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Break out the power washer.
Yeah, totally, man.
That was nice about printing in Florida, was pretty much year round was decent.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would wait until like 1 a.m. to start printing because it was so hot.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, you do what you got to do.
So I've broken the illusion on y'all's Instagram garden hose video. Secrets out.
We should post the real shot of it.
I know, I was like going insane. I was like, wait, what? I was like,
we got a pretty funny setup, but it works for us for right now.
And is it just you two guys there right now, or do you guys have any helpers or anything? Or
it's just us. We're we're able to keep it all together. We sort of have this like probably somewhat like anarchist model of running a business.
Good.
And so we each have our things that we take care of, kind of roles we've like naturally fallen into and stuff like that. So it works out pretty good.
Yeah, I'm awful at I'm not detail oriented at all. But like, you show me how to do something, I learn how to do it, and I can do it. But in the moment, I'm just like I'm not very detail oriented. But I'm the kind of personality that would push through until it's
Yeah.
done,
Yeah.
and not take anything personally. Just be like, okay, like something happened today where we had something going through the inkjet printer, and I totally put the transparency paper on the wrong side.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, and my teammate was like, hey man, like you've got to put it on the sticky side. And I was like, your sticky is different than my sticky.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
my fingertips are smooth, bro. Like everything is like sticky and slimy to me.
Yeah. I'm always like rubbing the film. I'm like, is this it?
Yeah.
It's the rougher. It's like the matte finish side, I guess. Or
Yeah, the only way I really know is if I take a Sharpie and like make a little mark on it and see if it rubs off. That's the only way I can truly know. But it's like,
yeah,
I can't take it in the moment. They asked me to do it, and I was right by the printer, so I was like, I know which side it is.
yeah, right.
50-50 shot. Did not work.
Yeah,
Not good.
nice. Yeah, man, it's funny how many things can go wrong in screen printing. It's really hilarious and humbling,
Yeah.
at times.
Oh yeah.
Like, all right, well that happened, I mean, there was one time I was using one of those transparency films to like line up a second color on a poster, and it like stuck to the bottom of the screen. I don't know if you've ever had that, but like you try to peel it off and like the emulsion's peeling off. Just like,
no, that's awesome.
no.
I don't even want that in my zone now. You brought that.
No, man.
I didn't even know that was a possibility. So now I'm going to be like super scared now all the time.
Yeah, there's this other material you can use that for that same process, and it doesn't do that. I think it's just that film,
yeah,
in particular, that does it. But
yeah,
yeah,
I like how RAD Printworks is like going out into in different events, and you guys have this like weird desk that has a press on it. Like, tell me about that. Is there a name for that? Do you have a special name you call it?
Honestly, to be honest, we actually just got rid of the desk, and we have a new we have a new live screen printing table that we put together, which it's not as maybe charismatic as the desk, but it is a lot lighter and easier to transport.
That's true. Yeah, I mean the desk has a lot of character, but then I imagine loading that into something probably sucks. But
yeah, and so we sort of got this more like skeleton of a table thing for it. Just on this past time we went out with it. Yeah, well, we also had gotten this new 6-color press too, so we had
nice.
That sort of filled up our shop a lot more, and the desk kind of had to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. desk.
Yeah, it was nice while it lasted.
I just imagine all the drawers have like cement blocks and bricks in them and stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm breaking all the illusions of RAD Printworks in this interview. I'm calling y'all out.
We got lots of other cool stuff though,
They use pressure washers on their screens. They got cement blocks in their dresser drawers, their desk drawers.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we're gonna find out.
But the live printing is pretty fun. We just did our first event in like a year this last weekend at the Wedge. So that was nice to do all that again.
Yeah, are you guys like close? You guys are close to the Wedge, right? Where's y'all's location at? Is it near?
Yeah.
Like across the street, I guess, from it or whatever. Or
yeah, we're right by the new Wedge and 12 Bones.
Okay.
So like in that foundation area where the skate park is. Cool. Yeah, we're back there, which is I mean, I'm sure you know that area is developed quite a bit in the past like just couple years.
Yeah.
When I first moved here, that whole back area was the outdoor skate park was there, but otherwise it was just like abandoned warehouses and trash everywhere and stuff. So it's kind of cool that there's like another little section of Asheville for people to come hang out in.
That's true.
is
Yeah,
pretty
I
neat.
need to point people to the River Arts District more often.
Yeah.
Family and stuff come visit town. I kind of give them my whole like, here's how you bar hop in West Asheville.
Hmm.
Start here, go all the way down there, and then
Yeah.
yeah, I need to point people to River Arts more often. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's pretty sweet there now, and I mean once the Rona uh passes us by, if that ever happens, we'll be doing more live printing and workshops, and hopefully like some shows over there too.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So do you guys live close by to the shop? Are you guys kind of making a commute in or
Yeah, Jerry lives pretty close. He's in West Asheville. I'm out in East Asheville, like off
Ooh,
of Riceville Road.
fun?
Um, I kind of like a little bit of a rural feel. Like we got a nice backyard, and
Yeah,
it's pretty chill out here. You can see the stars.
that's awesome, man.
So I kind of like that vibe too.
Yeah, when I first moved to Asheville, I was in West Asheville, right above the restaurant that is now Simple.
Okay, yeah,
Um, yeah, I was there when it was like Arancini and Subgrosso, all these
yeah, yeah,
different
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Living in a bungalow above that, and then
yeah.
now I'm out. I've been out in Black Mountain for
Oh,
about
nice.
3 years or so, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's really great as an artist to like have some breathing room and not be
Yeah,
completely immersed in all that.
yeah, yeah. I like Black Mountain. I lived out there for my first year in the area.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I still go up there a lot
Yeah,
for various things. So
yeah, man.
some good hiking up there.
I love it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's all dog in the background.
yeah, yeah.
Every day it's going to Montreat,
Nice,
going
nice.
somewhere.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love. That's definitely one of the reasons I moved up here was the nature, and it's definitely a big inspiration for me. I would say artistically and musically, even. Getting
Yeah,
to spend time out in the
yeah.
mountains.
Cool, man. And you were playing with the Sidewalk Surfers.
That's right.
That's
Hmm.
awesome, man. How'd you get involved with that group?
Well, I had known Jimmy for a long time, um, from Florida, like way back
Oh,
in the day.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that. That's awesome.
yeah, and yeah, and then we were both moved up here, and he was playing this at that time. The Sidewalk Surfers was just him and Eli on drums, um, and we had already like jammed years ago, and it was really nice. Even like the first time we met, we jammed for like 2 hours, um, and yeah, and it was kind of like, well, yeah, maybe you need a bass player and the Sidewalk Surfers. So
Yeah, that's
um,
awesome, man.
yeah, I mean, I was kind of just playing guitar mostly at that point, but had a bass, and yeah, yeah, it was really fun.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
and then lineup changed a little bit, and we got Nino and Quinn in the most recent lineup of that band, and yeah, man, we had a great time.
That's awesome,
Really,
dude.
really fun playing with those guys.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think Jimmy reached out to me once to play some keyboards, and I had a lot of stuff going on, and I really regret turning it down. I really regret not like at least sitting in on a jam session because, like you're saying, like the first time you jammed was like 2 hours or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Just I always forget that. I feel like I'm just so like 10 steps ahead all the time that I'm like, oh yeah. Sometimes people get together, Joey, and like play music just for the fun of it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's good to remember. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. That's what I have to say. I concur. Jamming
Yeah,
is really nice. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
man.
Yeah,
And
it
you,
was cool. Those shows had some bit of a improvisational element to them, so it was
yeah,
kind of fresh.
that's true. Yeah. So you have your own group that you're doing now, or
Yeah,
you
that's
you
right.
kind of did some shows, or how did that come about?
Yeah, I had come up with the name Guy Roswell a while ago, over a year now, um, and yeah, I was just wanting to do something after Sidewalk Surfers had taken a hiatus at that point, and you know, had a bunch of songs that I'd written and wanted to play them. So yeah, I got some local friends together that were from some different bands, and then I mean, it was kind of funny. We were, you know, rehearsing for a couple months, and then played 2 shows last year of like in like February and March, and then everything shut down. So it
Yeah.
kind of was strange. I'm glad we got to play a little bit though before everything happened. And I mean, since then we've been you know, just practicing and writing new songs, and you know, by the time we can play again, I think we'll be ready to go, ready to rock. So
Oh yeah, man, that's awesome.
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm itching to play a rock show, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if I could sit in with a band, I don't know, I get so in my head about bands. I've played by myself for years now. It's just hard to imagine like in a group again, but there
Yeah.
is something about it where everybody's kind of like putting in the work, and
Hmm.
it's fun again.
Yeah, man. I'm you know, throughout my band music, I don't want to say career, but my legacy, whatever.
Yeah.
Super grateful for all the, you know, really talented people that have wanted to help me put my songs to life. And
Yeah, man.
a lot of those times those people are, I mean, in my eyes, they're better musicians than I am. So it's really you know, super grateful for that.
That's
Definitely.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got any future plans, or kind of into the new year some? Is there any, you know, kind of just anything on your horizon, or that you guys been getting into?
Um
Music, RAD Printworks, artwork, whatever.
yeah, I mean, I've been real busy with Etsy lately.
Yeah,
Which has been awesome. That's basically like mostly floated me the whole like past year, which is
that's great.
super grateful for that. And all the, like the just random strangers that are buying my stuff from like all over the world. It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. So I'll probably just keep plugging away on that, and we've got some potential clients. I don't really want to say yet, but maybe some big things coming for RAD Printworks soon, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then as far as music goes, Guy Roswell, we're we've been practicing, and yeah, I think at some point we'll probably do some recording and be getting ready for shows whenever we can, hopefully sometime this summer.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of what's on the next like 6 months, I'd say.
that's great. Is there any certain item on your Etsy that you're noticing a big pull for? Is it kind of across the board, even with different things, or does it kind of surprise you every day what people are? Because you have a good amount of variety on your Etsy, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of surprises me. I get a lot of random people, and then you know, people that are buying posters and stuff, and I mean, I have a good amount of like kind of Grateful Dead inspired things, and
Yeah.
different kinds of stuff, drawings and things that I've done. I seem to be getting more like return people that are more interested in my like drawings, like original drawings, shirts and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And they'll buy like a couple at a time
That's really awesome.
when I put some new stuff on. So it's nice the momentum that's been building on there.
Yeah. So I imagine you kind of keep a stock of each of these shirts, like you kind of refill as you need. You're not doing these for order, are you? The
Um,
shirts at
it
least.
it kind of depends on the design. Um, some of the more like popular ones I'll have a bit of a stock of, and
Yeah,
then if it's like a brand new one, I'll kind of, you know, test to see if people are into it, and then if someone buys one, I'll make the screen and make it, and then it usually, usually picks up from there once someone buys it for the first time.
Oh yeah, like maybe you getting the mock-up up there, or
Yeah,
yeah, that's cool, man. That's a great way to go about it.
yeah. You know, I think at some point I'll have probably do more stock, but it's also like to house a whole bunch of shirts all the time is kind of
Yeah.
a lot, you know. So
Yeah, you got to come see our shop. We have a basement that is just like shelves on shelves on shelves
yeah,
of
I
shirts.
mean, and we have we've got you know, a bunch of bins full of shirts and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, I sort of lean more on just having like the blank shirts in stock, and then
Mhm.
you know, I'll use those same shirts for a number of different designs.
Yeah.
Just have the screen ready to go. So it works out pretty good for now, like that.
Yeah. Do you have any go-to blank shirts that you like?
Yeah, mostly do like the Bella Canvas 3001s. Um and then like the comfort colors people
Yeah.
like too. Those are kind of like the two go-tos. There were some weird points, you know, during the pandemic where things were like out of stock a lot and
Yeah,
things like that. So
it was like, yeah, they what was it? Well, it was, I think it was Bella Canvas. They were switching things up, and
mm-hmm.
some of their factories or whatever, they were cut off from the US or something like that. And also too, like we were trying to order like 2X and 3X black cotton shirts. And
Mm-hmm.
we were like, why are all these gone? And we looked at the news headlines and it was like Sturgis, like the motorcycle rally happening. I was like, that's why. Like everybody's making motorcycle shirts right now.
Yeah, and they're all 3X. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been interesting to navigate all that stuff, but we've
Yeah.
made it this far. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think I've been hearing really good things with people who are have their e-commerce up and their Etsy's going and everything, and
Yeah.
really happy to hear all that too, and
Mm-hmm.
excited that you guys also have your physical location now too, and I think it's
Yeah.
also really cool that you guys have been um, like politically active too. Like you have the Vance Monument design that you guys did.
Yeah, we've done a few things
Yeah,
for that cause. Yeah.
that's great. Like I just love seeing that kind of stuff, man. Like that's just really awesome that you guys are, using the tools that you have to be out there and have, send that message out. And, there's just a lot of
Yeah.
businesses, you've seen both sides of it. Like some
Mhm.
people have to kind of stay out of the argument, and it's cool when there are
Yeah.
local small businesses that can be like, yeah, we can do something, and here's what we, chose to do.
Hmm.
It's just really cool to see that in our community.
Yeah, I feel like the new business paradigm is to, you know, be as opinionated as you want to be, really. And if people like it, that's cool. You'll attract those more of those people, and the people who don't like it'll go away. And you
Yeah,
know,
it's
you
not for
probably,
them. It's not for
yeah,
them.
yeah. Um, you know, that's I think probably just what feels most authentic to us
Yeah.
to not really have much of a filter in what we're doing.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Yeah, I think
just to be authentic. You know, it doesn't always get you liked by everyone, but you know.
yeah, I don't know. Have you ever gotten any weird looks from tourists in your shop? Do
Um,
you have walk-ins like that? Do you have people that kind of come in
yeah,
and they're just, like, oh my goodness.
yeah, that most people are pretty cool. I think they're just like a little confused and then they walk away, you know. But we meet a lot of cool people though too over there. Um, or if they're just like really not going to be into it, they'll just like totally just walk by all our stuff and like not even acknowledge
Yeah.
it. It's just
Yeah. It's fine.
it's fine.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of cool people in that are like really surprised at certain things that we have and really like it, you know, and they'll pick something up. So
Yeah,
it
that's
works out
awesome.
pretty good.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, good. I hope everybody comes in and buys all the things they
Yeah, that'd
see.
be Yeah, man. I mean, it's been great to be in Asheville and making art and music since I've lived here. And you know, I feel like most of my friends are at least partially independent artists, and so we're all sort of riding the waves together. You know.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've got a good grasp picking your brain and
Nice.
fanboying on RAD Printworks, man. I appreciate you talking with me, and
Yeah, man.
it's really cool to see people in similar paths and areas, but still doing their own independent things. So I just had to like, I was like, I gotta talk to this guy. I'm like, remind me of the guy's other podcast that he's doing that you're talking about.
It's called I Heart AVL,
Okay,
and I think he's
word.
got an Instagram just for that
That's awesome, man.
too.
Well, yeah, again, appreciate you doing this, and hopefully,
Yeah.
when things open back up, we'll grab a drink or something together.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
All right, dude. Well,
All right,
I'm
man.
gonna sign off, man, and thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.